Got a worm right there. Whoa! All right. Got a nice spring day with no rain. So it's the perfect time to kick off this multi-video series on active and passive fishing. Now, real quick, active fishing means you have some type of pole or rod and you're out there actively trying to catch fish, okay? Passive fishing is just like trapping. We're creating something to do the work for you. That could be putting an actual fish trap into the water where the fish swim inside and get stuck. That could be an automatic fishing pole over here, and once the fish grabs that hook, it releases the lever or the trigger and it catches itself. Or it could be something like a gill net sitting there in the water. The work is being done for you. The fish are actually going to do the work for you. The best or optimum option for that would be you're actively fishing while you have several other means or methods over here doing the work for you. Bottom line, trapping and fishing and hunting is a numbers game. The more options you have, the larger percentage or chance you have of actually catching something. So think of it like that. I want to be actively doing something, but passively catching fish as well. So let's go ahead and kick this off with an L7 automatic fishing pole. So to create this automatic fishing pole using an L7 trigger system, it's exactly the same as you would for a land trap. And that's the beauty of this, and that's why I always teach and preach for beginners to learn simple notching or an L7 notch or a tent stake notch, because it's transferable to land and sea. Far too often we get caught up in this glamorization of I want things extremely difficult because they look cool. But when you boil it down, simplicity at its best will always prevail. So let's go ahead and look through here and try to find two L branches or Y branches and kick this bad boy off. This is exactly what we're looking for. We have two Y branches. We cut one off right here. The long one will be carved to a point and simply pounded into the ground. The smaller one will fit just like so. From here, we'll run a line up to a straight stick that will be bent under pressure as it marries up right here. Finally, we'll have a line around the bottom of our 7 that runs to the water. Once the fish grabs that and runs, it will pull away. The spring pull will set the hook in the fish and hold it there until you reel it in. Right back there. Now, to complete this automatic fishing pole using the L7 trigger system, all we need is a straight stick, probably about 6 to 8 feet in length and no bigger than the diameter of my thumb. Here's a pro tip when you're dealing with something like this. 2 things. 1, the longer the pole, the more flex you're going to have. 2nd, the more alive the branch is, the longer you can use it and the larger fish you're going to catch. I'm going to carve this into a point so I can stick it in the ground. The last step of the equation is finding some way to stick it into the ground. Okay? And that could be as simple as carving this end to a point and forcing it down into the mud. And that seems to work most of the time. But if you're in an area where there's loose sand, it can pull right out, or the earth is compacted, you're gonna have a problem with that. So what I've come up with is getting 4 stakes, simple wooden stakes, pound them in the ground right next to each other. And in doing that, there's an open hole in the center. Okay, leave about 1 foot stick out of the earth. You can then drop that pole right down inside there. And any movement, it will pull against those stakes, keeping it embedded in that hole that you created. So the pole is removable. So now I can take it out. And if that hook wasn't already set, I can set it. And so then what we'll do here is I'll place the pole or the rod right there. And the other one right next to it. And then one more here at the top. Right there should be good. And then let's say a good 18 inches to 2 feet or so off of our pole holder. Go ahead and drive this in the ground. Now it boils down to 2 attachments. One from your pole to your L7s and one from the L7 to the water. You can use paracord, you can use bank line, you can use fishing line, you can use the inner strands of paracord. Utilize whatever you have inside your kit. So you can see this on video. We'll go ahead and use orange paracord. And once again, the infamous arbor knot. And we'll just crank it down. Look at that, the first rock. We've got a worm right there. 2 worms. Oops. Get back here. Another one right there. Boom. Jackpot. Go ahead here and set it. Match up our 7s. There we go. Whoa! All right. That's what we're talking about. Fish on, baby. So I'm gonna grab the line and just pull it in. See what we got here. Bluegill or a sunfish. Look at that. Sunfish, baby. All right. All right, so that's a pan-sized sunfish, and someone's gonna say it, and they comments all the time because A, they don't know, or B, they're just trying to cause a problem, and I'm leaning more towards the latter. Yes, it's a bait fish. They're like, you caught a bait fish, lols. Here's the reality. If I can catch 10 bait fish in an hour and have enough food for 2 days, I'm gonna do that versus trying to catch a catfish in there or a bass and spend 8 hours and catch nothing, and then I starve. So there's common sense, and then there's stupidity. Like I said earlier, trapping and passive fishing are the same thing. It's a numbers game. The more you have out there, the more options you have of catching something. So 10 minutes of passive fishing where I did nothing. I walked away and it caught itself. So again, I'm happy with that. Now I have two choices. I can keep that fish, throw it back, same thing, keep it or eat it or throw it back. It's done. Or utilize that fish to catch a larger fish. So it's something you got to think about. If you have 7 or 8 poles in the water and you can sacrifice one, why not? If not, you eat the fish. So here's the important takeaway. I carved no notches whatsoever. I used 2 Y branches for my L7s, and an L7 snare or trap can be used for land or sea, meaning the water. And it's the exact same method. Instead of making the line to the water, I'd make my noose and bait it. And then once it hangs itself, it springs up. Same idea. And it took me minutes to make that. It took more time to find the material than it did to actually make it. So something to think about. With that, all the gear in my videos can be found in 2 places. One, my Amazon affiliate page, and 2, my Etsy store. Both links are found inside my description box. Now please do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button, then ring that notification bell. Once you ring that bell, please select all notifications. And as always, thank you for your comments, views, and support. Thanks for watching. Get out in the field, have some fun. I'm going to catch you next time.